Good afternoon and welcome to a new series of Points of View, the programme that gives you, the viewer, a voice. And you have been using it loud and clear to give us your thoughts on The Voice.
It beats both X Factor and Britain's Got Talent. It's so refreshing not to have to sit through the silly, useless acts which are so not funny. It's nice to be watching proper talent.
I would happily buy the battle duets which prompted this email. Would it not be a good idea to be able to download the tracks? You could even give the money to charity.
The Voice is becoming less about the voice and more about who the judges preferred the look of. It's no wonder several singers look so upset.
Well, The Voice is the new kid on the block, so can it take on the older gang? For 8 series, The Apprentice has been doing its thing. 8 seasons in which we've wondered if it is starting to wear thin. Well, is it?
Tired old show. But it doesn't even get a laugh. Lord Sugar should start to worry about his reputation. His show is now decidedly tacky, like the tasks he sets.
To be honest, I get the feeling that they're running out of ideas when setting the tasks. Unfortunately, although I am still just about enjoying it, I'm beginning to get a bit bored with the format.
Katie, I'm afraid to say that having been in this position the third time, I'm not convinced. And so, Katie, you're fired.
Given less previous, there's no way Katie would have gone. A farce, a fiasco, a debacle of the First Order. Hurrah for the show that never disappoints.
Some may be drifting away, but as Elvis once said, 6.6 million fans can't be wrong. And these shows are unashamedly fronted by that peculiar class of people known as celebs, a category which can take you all the way from a businessman, Lord Sugar, to a pop star, Jessie J. And they are the people we want to watch, aren't they? Fraser, aren't they?
There's enough people out there now to be put off just by the fact that they see a celebrity fronting the programme, irrespective of who it might be.
It's smart, Matt.
I stopped trying for a quick fix, and it worked.
I'm making 4 long journeys across the length and breadth of the country.
Oh no.
You're going east,
I'm just doing this isn't helping.
I think that there's always a danger with the celebrity fronting it, that some of the programme becomes about them, the celebrity, rather than the wider issues that they're sort of seeking to broadcast to the viewer.
But find an expert and you've got a prize catch.
In terms of The Fisherman's Apprentice, Monty Halls' approach was good. He got the balance right. He took you along, but he didn't overbear.
I'm told I'm being a total lightweight.
It enabled you to get a real feel for the issue around fishing in inshore waters, but also the real people that were involved. So it was a really good programme.
Well, first off, thank you very much. It's always lovely to get positive feedback. And I do think there are certain experiences that have to be wholly immersive. And you do need that little bit of background knowledge before you enter that environment. And working with the fishing fleets was definitely one of them.
They're one of the few sharks that can bite their own tail. Look at that, the power.
I think the absolute key to good presenting is making the story about the people you're talking to and the environment that you're living and working in. Shouldn't be about the presenter.
It's a tricky time, and it's going to be for another few more years yet.
I think you do need a level of expertise depending on the subject. I think it's quite a responsible way of making television, really, because you have an informed opinion, and often presenting is all about opinions.
And Fraser's opinion.
I really do hope that this approach is one that we can see more of going forward.
Not only has he been creating the blueprint for how presenters should lead programmes in future, but Monty Halls was also proving he can be quite roughy-tufty on the side, hauling tons of fish on the roughest high seas. And he has been joined in these manly, adventurous pursuits by an entire scout troop of presenters on BBC Two on Sunday nights, kicking off with patrol leader Simon Reeve, who's tackling the Indian Ocean.
Hold on! There's something there. Right hand side, see it. Find on the starboard bow. Hit it in. Coming very fast, so they won't be able to get away.
I thought it was a fascinating programme.
if only to remind us what a mess large parts of the world are.
A problem with these travellogues is that they are simply out of date. Basically, these investigative travellogues no longer have such an appeal in the days of mass intercontinental travel and the internet. It's no coincidence that the last of the great travellogue series was perhaps Michael Palin's Around the World in 80 Days, broadcast in 1989.
The travelogue is dead because we're all able to go on the journeys ourselves now. Intriguing thought, and clearly not one anyone has run past Ewan McGregor, the man on a mission, just 1 hour later. Now a man who's found that gauche and gangly opens more doors for him than muscle and masculinity. Louis Theroux is back, and this time he's looking at the USA's dementia care capital, Phoenix, Arizona. He was looking quite tenderly at love between the patients.
Are you sentimental? Is there a sentimental part of you that is still attached?
It's just sadness. No sentimental. It's just sadness. I feel it less than I did. Every day gets easier and better.
Tonight's programme about dementia was truly heartbreaking.
I managed to watch the first 15 minutes. I gave up watching when Louis went to visit an 80-year-old man who was looking after his wife, who initially appeared to be okay, but it turned out she couldn't even remember her name. I decided to turn over my TV then. Very sad.
As we all get older, we must expect to see more care homes on TV. The Panorama team returned to them to look at the abuse of old people. Last year, you'll remember, its undercover investigation into the mistreatment of frail residents led to arrests and home closures. And this time, a viewer rigged a camera in her mother's bedroom and captured the evidence herself.
So all of that yanking and
it's
chopping.
It's as though she's cattle or something. It's just like you see farmers doing that when it's... Oh, God.
They should be putting a sheet under Maria to move her, not yanking her. Specially designed slip sheets were in Maria's bedroom.
And you see all these things, like where I saw the bruises, now make sense.
I have to say that I cried and felt physically sick at the completely unsatisfactory behaviour of the care staff. The daughter, who decided to film the events that happened in her mother's room, has highlighted some serious failings within the care. I thank the BBC Panorama programme for highlighting this area of grave abuse of our elderly.
Vulnerable people are being made to suffer for care home greed because they won't pay for adequate numbers or quality of staff. Shocking viewing.
Shocking undercover footage there, and of course it's that kind of filming which has proved necessary in the past to bring perpetrators to justice. But it is the gratuitous shock tactics of the current series of Silent Witness that is putting off even die-hard fans.
I do not usually feed back, but Silent Witness was very disturbing and far too graphic in violent content. Granted, prior to viewing, the show carried a warning, but I was shocked at exactly how violent, and wonder if Silent Witness is not getting too carried away.
Silent Witness shows much too much violent content. Can it not be implied? As of tonight, we will not be watching it again, which is a real shame, as we like the characters and the actors.
I am shocked at the violence in this series of Silent Witness. I think our imaginations can paint a bad enough picture. The show does not have to give us exact details, which I feel is distasteful. Please get back the old style.
Did you know that Rachel had a bullet lodged in her spine from her days with the military police?
Yes, she told me.
So you knew that she lived with the spectre of sudden death every minute of her day?
If you were hoping for gore there, sorry, Sunday tea time and all that, I thought I would spare us. Now there's more drama with the Syndicate. No dead bodies with a romp about shop girls winning the lottery, but there has been a darker side too.
Well, why didn't you say something before?
Because nobody asked!
Look, all I came for was to tell you that Andy from the lottery's been in touch because he wants us to do some sort of an interview about how our lives have changed since we won.
What, for the telly?
I don't know, but I thought we should all just discuss it because I didn't know if you'd want to do it after everything that's happened.
It provided humour, human frailties, and has a certain natural simplicity to it. Slightly tragic without becoming too soapish for a dramatic effect. Superbly acted with a great production team.
It has had me in tears. Excellent acting by all. More of this type of drama, please.
But viewer Nicola Abrahart has another bone to pick with the Syndicate. It's one of many dramas recently to have a smokescreen clouding the plot.
Why does the BBC show so many smokers on their dramas?
I gave up for 18 months before I moved up here.
I've not had a rollie since I was 18.
I can't think of many BBC dramas where smoking isn't portrayed.
There's Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7. Get away.
Programmes such as Eastenders, The Syndicate.
He's still down there, but we never hear from him, thank God.
Well, don't he want to see his daughter?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Prisoners' Wives.
That is absolutely
Fantastic.
disgusting.
Oh.
And Gavin and Stacey.
A woman final smoke as a single woman. Dad?
Go on then.
Beck?
Well, if we've got a couple minutes, why not?
Scenes where a character is shown pondering with a cigarette are simply vile to watch. I do find myself switching off, especially serial dramas. I don't feel as if it's adding to the storyline. I don't feel as if it's necessary, and it's promoting a damaging habit.
Oh, it is disgusting, mate.
I'd like to know how the BBC can justify showing so many smokers in their programmes.
Like all broadcasters, we occasionally show scenes of smoking in our dramas, but this is only done to reflect a period of time, perhaps when smoking was more common, for example, or to accentuate a character's personality traits.
Nicola thinks the BBC should stub it out.
It's about time the BBC started to take responsibility for the programmes that it shows, to portray a healthier nation, to portray that we are not a nation of smokers.
Let us talk now about a former Sunday afternoon viewing mate of ours, the dependable Eastenders omnibus. Dependable? Well, it has suffered the indignity of being bounced around the schedules. Happens to us too. But recently it's been even less dependable because it has disappeared.
What on earth are you doing? The Eastenders omnibus is a Sunday ritual. You've ruined my weekends forever. Put it back where it belongs.
My thoughts on the bizarre moving of the Eastenders omnibus from its Sunday afternoon slot to the dead of night? I'm sure scheduling is done by drawing it out of a hat at BBC TV Centre.
So schedulers, own up. Show us that hat of yours.
Viewers now catch up on EastEnders through a variety of means, such as the PVR, our BBC Three Repeat, or on iPlayer. We've therefore decided to move the omnibus slot to later on Friday nights. This slot is closer to the original transmissions and will be more consistent, as it will not need to be moved for sporting commitments.
You know, one day we will get an answer to something that doesn't involve the word iPlayer. One day. We're out of time, so let me just tell you how you get in touch. Remember, there are plenty of ways. You can leap online, you can join the very lively discussions on our message board. Just navigate via bbc.co.uk/POV. You can also email us, pov@bbc.co.uk is the address. If you want to call and leave an old-fashioned telephone message, just ring us local rate from a landline on 0370 908 3199. Or we still have the Points of View letter opener at the ready. That's the piece of equipment, not the Office Junior. So please write to Points of View, BBC Birmingham, B1 1AY. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.